So, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 came out this weekend, and wow, how do I say this? It's not the greatest movie in the world, it's kind of like... meh? If I had to rank them, I definitely would go Catching Fire, maybe Part 1, which is kind of matched with this one, and then Part 3, because Part 3 is just filler. Watching this movie kind of made me think that you could have easily just taken the best 15 minutes of the third one, tacked it right into the last one, this one, Mockingjay Part 2, and it would have been a fine movie. I think the biggest problem I have with this movie, this franchise, is that they didn't really... They could have easily kept the novels the way they were and updated the movie in such a way where like each book or each movie took place maybe a year later. Because when I first watched like the first movie, Jennifer Lawrence was probably like 18 or 19. She was around the appropriate age of the character. And by the time you get to this movie, she's 25 and she's trying to use the dialogue of an adolescent teen, 18-year-old. And it doesn't feel right, you know? And considering that it's a giant all-out war, you know, it's not hard to believe that it would have been something to take place over the course of 4 years and not, you know, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is. And it really shines through in the character who plays Peeta, or the character Peeta, who is just the most useless character in film history, period. I'm watching this thing and it's like, you know, they're doing the storyline and with the Capitol and President Snow and President Coin and the big war, and they have like, you know, there's actually are some Hunger Games in this one, a little bit, when they try to break into the Capitol. There's lots of these booby traps, like a mouse, you know, like that game Mousetrap, you know, it's kind of cool. But every now and then the movie comes to a full halt when we have to stop and do a Peeta storyline. Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for her to look at Peeta and Peeta to just be like, will you take care of me forever? Because I am a dependent and I can't take care of myself. I need a strong, feminine woman to hold me. And her just being like, of course I will. And that's the biggest sticking point I have with this movie, is that it's just, I don't give a shit about Peeta. You know, I want to see more of like Woody Harrelson. I want to see more of Elizabeth Banks. I want to see more of, I mean, Lenny Kravitz is no longer in the franchise, but you know, the other characters, President Snow, President Coin, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Donald Sutherland, Julianne Moore, all great actors, but I'd say maybe collectively they have maybe like 30 minutes of screen time the whole time. You know, we see a lot of Jennifer Lawrence, obviously, a lot of Peeta, a lot of Gale, you know, the Hemsworth brother, and it's just, it doesn't really... You know, in a nutshell, this is one of those movies where it's like, well, I came this far, so I'm going to finish it up and watch it as a complete story. But if I had a, you know, if it was a rainy Sunday afternoon and I wanted to watch some Hunger Games, I'd probably pick up, you know, Catching Fire off the shelf. This is not a movie that like, you know, oh, I can't wait to watch Part 2 of Mockingjay, because it's just boring, man. I mean, there are some great points that I did like. I like there's a scene that the book people will know that in the sewers, and there's some traps in the sewers with like these monsters that look very reminiscent of I Am Legend that attacked the group at one point, and that was cool. The traps were definitely the best part, but the storyline was kind of weak, very predictable. I didn't read the books, but even I kind of knew where it was going and how it was going to end, and you know, the big twist that was supposed to surprise everybody was like, yeah, I'm not shocked, it's kind of obvious, right? Anyway, all in all, I'd say I'd give this movie a C+. Like I said, if I had to rank them, Catching Fire, the first one, this movie, Part 2, and dead last, Part 1, because, yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about it. I'd love to know what the actual differences were between the book and the movie, so be sure to put that in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, because you just got burned.